All right, so I'm going to do a video after action report for the January Dead Zero match because, quite frankly, it takes a long time to write out and I forget a lot of stuff. And it's just easier for me to talk than to write it all down anyway. Let's start with I want to really thank everyone who came out and did such a great job shooting the match, dealing with the weather. It was snowy. We had some new shooters there. And I actually want to extend that to everyone who came out and shot the match this year. I'm not just this particular match, but this year has been challenging to shoot between COVID and different other issues. It's been a challenging year. I want to thank each and every person that came out to my match there at Dead Zero, and I really appreciate every single shooter, and my goal is always to give you the best match that I can. I don't always do that, but I really do try, and I really do want it to reflect in how the match goes forward. Now, this past match, I knew there was weather coming in, so there was some up and downs pre-match. If you follow on Facebook, first of the week, I wasn't even sure we were going to have a match because of the weather, because of some other concerns, ammunition, and all of this other thing. And but we ended up having it. We had 6 great stages. Or we should have had 6 great stages. We ended up with 5 because the jungle run, which is fine all summer, and we run it muddy. We've had a good time with it. But since I've been doing the tower, and since I like doing the tower so much, it's hard for me to not have that as a part of the jungle run. And so when we have inclement weather like this, the idea that somebody could run up those stairs and hit some ice or have mud on their shoes and slip and fall down with a gun in their hands or just plain get injured is just not something we can deal with. And then pulling that out means that it becomes more or less a shotgun-only course with maybe a few pistol rounds, which, for someone shooting 2-gun like I was, the stage is a nothing for me. And then even the shotgun guys aren't really going to enjoy it because, again, you have ice down there, and it just was not a good idea. So we dropped the jungle run. So we have 5 quality stages. 3 in the bays, 1 long range out on the hill, and where I like to call the pond stage, which is a field stage down by a fence line. We started out on the long range. I really felt like that stage went very smoothly. Now, I have to say that every stage, we as shooters had to do something when we got there. We had to put paper up. We had to, in some cases, nail down some props or something like that because of the wind, whatever. So we would usually, we get to the stage, we put everything together. Guys, you're awesome. There's no complaining. All the shooters just get in there, get it done, and we're ready to shoot the match. And we shoot that stage. Stage 1, you started off with pistol. You had some pistol paper, you had some pistol steel, you had some optional shotgun pistol steel, and then you had a pistol target slash slug target at 70 yards. Not a hard slug shot, but a challenging pistol shot, and you had to hit it twice with a pistol. So it gave you some options, if you didn't have slugs, or maybe you just wanted to use no shotgun at all on the stage, which is the way I shot it and the way Matt Stinnett shot it. You can watch his video. He did a great job. And some other guys shot it that way. Once you got done with your shotgun or your pistol on the KD steel and the paper, you went to long range. We had some paper, some just hoser stuff that was basically at contact. Huge dirt clouds coming up. It was awesome. I really like those kind of targets because it's just fun to see dirt fly. It's a lot of times we get into these really surgical matches where we're just punching holes in paper, knocking steel over, and the fun factor gets kind of sucked out of the stage. And I want to put that back in to my stages as much as possible. So what I really want to do is to have some element on most stages that's just fun. So we had the contact paper. The challenge of this long-range stage were the VTAC walls and having to move positions for every target. We had 2 VTAC walls and we had 4 targets, so you shot one target on one VTAC wall, moved to another position on that wall, shot a second target, you moved to the second wall, you shot a target from one position, and then you switched to your last position and shot the last target. Man, was that fun. It was great because you couldn't just build a position and just get there and just click off rounds. You had to get in a position, pull that trigger, and know that you had to hit. So I really liked it. If something that I'll do better next time, the next time that we do something like that is I really feel like that we could have had the targets put out a little better. I had the larger BC targets in close and the 12-inch gongs out far, which that was a very challenging target for this particular position. So we probably won't see that again anytime soon. We'll probably swap the target around. I like the positional work. I just didn't like the target array. The paper, everything else on that stage was really great. I think it was a lot of fun, and I liked it. So then we went to our 50-yard bay where you started in a square with your rifle. You had some optional shotgun targets, and you also had some mandatory clay shotgun targets, some rifle paper, and a spinner that had to be spun with the rifle at 50 yards and the pistol at about, I think it was 10 to 12 yards. I miscalculated again at how difficult that particular spinner is to spin out past about 8 or 9 yards. That's on me. I don't think anybody actually spun it. Maybe one person spun it with a pistol. So that was a mistake on my part. That's a learning curve for me. Once you started in a start box, you ran to a tank trap hedgehog, engaged. I think we had 6 rifle steel. Then engaged a spinner. You then ran into the shooting box. You shot paper on a run, probably about 20 yards. Got rid of your rifle, picked up your shotgun, shot 6 clays, 2 poppers with your shotgun, abandoned that, drew pistol, and engaged the spinner. Really nothing I didn't like about the stage except the spinner. The reset time was solid. And I should say that my main concern when I'm designing these stages or when I'm putting them on the ground is how long are we going to take to reset them. I hate reset. I think everybody hates reset, and I'm very jealous of the time that we spend on reset, so I want to make it go as quickly as possible. I sometimes have to do it, but I really dislike not being able to reset while the shooter has moved on to a separate portion of the stage. So in this case, once the shooter was done with his rifle and put that down and picked up the shotgun, then we could tape all the paper, and we did. And again, stage went very smooth, got it done, moved on to our 25-yard bay stage. This stage was deceptively simple. We had to move some things because of mud and some other issues in the bay because of the snow. And some concerns as far as maybe potential hazards. So it ended up being a little more simple than what I had intended, but it worked really well. It had challenges to it. You could start anywhere with any gun. You could shoot rifle, pistol, and shotgun. You could shoot rifle and pistol. You could shoot. You couldn't shoot just pistol and shotgun, and you could not shoot just shotgun. There was no way to do that. You engaged through ports, rifle paper, 3 steel ringers, which were pistol only, and a Texas Star, and a plate rack, which you could shoot with shotgun or pistol. It went fast. It reset fast. That was a 0 problem stage. If I had to do it over again, I would change the placement of the rifle paper just to force a third position, a third shooting position, just to give it one more element of fun to it. But it was a fun stage. It was fast and it flowed really good. And again, the reset was great. That brings us to the 270 degree bay. This is where we had a few problems. It was, I think we ended up with 22 pieces of steel on the stage, 5 rifle targets and 5 pistol targets, and we've used the full aspect of that 270 degrees in that bay, and I like to do that. I have a 270 degree bay. I want to use it. I want people to push the envelope and see that, you know, a 180 in a bay is a meaningful thing. But when you have a 270 degree bay where you can safely shoot in this direction, then we can do it. You know, and we are, and we do it almost every match. And so you could start with, again, start anywhere, start with any weapon. You did have to use all 3 guns on this stage unless you went with shotgun slugs. You could, in theory, just use rifle and shotgun. Nobody did. It was great. A lot of KD steel. The reset took longer than I would have liked. Probably could have cut that down a little bit by using poppers or so, you know, maybe just a different style of target. But honestly, the KDs were really the perfect target and for that setup. And you know, it was a good. I think I did it in just under a minute. Most people were doing it in just over a minute or less. You know, far less than a minute, faster than me. And so the stage went pretty good. Reset time could have been better. There's always that one stage, so we had that. The last stage of the day was the pond stage. This was a regurgitation of a stage that we did earlier in the year with some changes where we had paper on each side. You started in the middle in a square. You shot. There was pistol paper and KD steel. The paper and the KD steel could both be shot with pistol. The KD steel could also be shot with shotgun. And then you went up on the slant roof and shot. I want to say we had 8 pieces of steel out from about 110 to 160 yards. And these were challenging targets. You know, these are 5x5, I think. Are they 5x5? These are the rifle ringer targets from Innovative Target that Jason Agee makes, and those were the closer targets at about 100 and I don't know 110 maybe 105, and then we had some Colt speed plates, the small ones, the auto reset plates out at about 115, 120, and then we had a small IPSC target at about 150. And you know, up on the slant roof, those are challenging targets, and but it was really satisfying to see everyone just slam those targets and hit them and feel good about it. And it was a great stage to end the day on. Very minimal reset. Basically, by the time the shooter was done, all the paper had been taped, and just a couple of pieces of steel had to be picked up and reset, and then the next shooter was there with his rifle, and it went really well. So that was our match. That was our stages. Going forward, some high points that we need to take care of that I haven't mentioned yet is we have a we have to the building the match is becoming an issue where it shouldn't be an issue, but it is because I'm the only one doing it week after month after month, and that's getting a little easier because the staff is pre-staging and they're doing a really good job of helping me out just by getting the targets out to the stage, and then I can place them, and I can usually do that very quickly, and I don't mind doing it. We're working on that. I've talked to the staff about it. They've told me that as Scott said that the earlier in the week that he can get that information and get those targets placed, and the more time he has to do it, the better off we are. So I will be making sure that he has that. There's a lot of issues. Let me rephrase. There's a lot of concern about the ammo issue that we're facing in matches, and I've seen a lot of threads about it on Facebook, a lot of posts, a lot of concern, a lot of worry. Folks, ammo's trickling through. It's not at pre-war pricing, okay? We're not going to see, $11 a box 9mm for a while. Till it catches up, and there's, and just like it was back in 2008 through 2012. I mean, it's just the way it's going to be. And that was a huge period of growth for 3-gun, even during that time when you couldn't even buy 22 caliber, right? There wasn't any. Didn't exist. So I guess what I'm saying is stock up when you can. When you see ammo, buy it. You're not going to suddenly find a deal on your 9mm and 5.56 ammo that you need for your for the matches. Buy it, stack it away. When the price goes down, buy more of it. When it comes back in, buy more of it. Make friends with your local gun shops because they want to sell you ammo. And if you tell them, hey, I'm a competitor, here's my number, I will buy. Now, the caveat is you got to go buy it, but they'll do it. I really try and work with my local gun shop, On Target Shooting Center, which, shameless plug there. Love those guys. They make a pointed effort to get ammo in, especially ammo that we can shoot in our matches. So patronize those guys. Go and buy ammo from your local gun shops. Buy ammo from wherever you can. It's important. And we're going to keep having matches. I'm not going to water down the match based on lack of ammo or concerns that people aren't going to have the ammo. That doesn't mean we're going to have super high round counts. It doesn't mean you should bring 500 rounds to every match or anything like that. But it does mean that if we have stages with 5 rounds of rifle, it's because it's 5 challenging rounds of rifle and 30 rounds of pistol or something like that. It's going to be a balance, and they're going to be good stages, and they're going to be fun. The whole idea of the match is not to just go do it to say you did it. It's to go do it because it's important. You're going to go do it because it makes you feel good. You go do it because you're training and you want to get something out of it. Whatever your motivation is, it's not to save $1 on ammo. Or it shouldn't. I mean, if it is, then I don't know. I can't help you. I'm sorry. I don't have that mentality to be able to help you. The reality is, ammo's out there. It's trickling in. If you can't find it, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. If I can help out, help provide ammo, help find ammo, I have found people ammo. I have helped my shooters with ammo, slugs. Some pistol ammo in the past. As a match director, I want you to be able to come shoot the match. let's not make ammo a bigger deal than it is already. The last thing I'm going to touch on, and I think that this is, well, two things. I think the first is something that bears repeating. I bring spare guns so that people can use them. This past match, we had some guys brand new to 3-gun. They were reasonable shooters. They were safe. They did really good. They borrowed my rifle. They borrowed my shotgun. It was very satisfying to me to watch those guys hit steel at distances they don't normally shoot at with my rifle. That tells me I did a good job with the rifle, and that also tells me that they're going to feel good about coming back and enjoying the match, and take some pressure off of them so they don't feel like they have to go out and buy the gear that they need right now today. Now, the second thing I want to touch on, guys, I really appreciate every single person that has done anything to help the match. I really want it to continue to go forward. I'm still planning on doing a night match this year. I'm still really anticipating a lot of growth in the match. I want more growth in our match, and I want it to be the best match that I can put forward every single time I put a match on there. And that's basically the end of the after action report. My personal performance, I did okay on every stage. I didn't have anything where I was just like, I totally screwed up. I'm shooting a different gun, a different pistol this match, with some different gear. I did some stupid things like putting mags in my mag pouch backwards, forgetting the order of targets that I wanted to shoot. Just things that happen when you're running a match and you end up having to go shoot in 2 minutes, but you've been solving a problem for half an hour. So I'm going to leave you with that. Shooters, I really encourage you to come out to our match. It's a good time. We do good things, and it's only going to get better. I invest a lot of time and effort and even money into doing this match, and I really want you to be a part of it, because you are. You are a part of my match. When you show up, you are super welcome, and we will help you. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you soon.